Hey, what's going on? Just got 4 of those PCBs I mentioned the other day in. 2 still yet to arrive, but I'll show you these. First, here's a Konami beat 'em up. And if you're familiar with the Crime Fighters game, this is the sequel to that, Vendetta, otherwise known as Crime Fighters 2. Really cool beat 'em up, released in '91. Love the Konami beat 'em ups. Some of the demo. And it is playable by up to 4 characters, so if you have a 4-player arcade cab, you can do it that way. I'm running it on my Sigma Raijin, which is a, a 2-player JAMA Super Gun control box. I've never actually seen one of these things with 4. That'd be pretty wild. But yeah, it's still awesome with 1 to 2 players. And the interesting thing about this one is you can't jump in it. You have your punch and kick attacks, and if you hit them both together, it's sort of like a little super attack, like a lunge type jump move, and it doesn't actually deplete your health bar at all when you use it, so that's a pretty cool thing. You gotta love these old, late 80s, early 90s beat 'em ups. They're all pretty similar in theme and content, and the fact that, usually you've got like a city or an area that's been overrun by all these punks and thugs from a gang, and you just gotta go in there with a couple of guys and try to take them all down. It's pretty awesome. It's awesome to have these old boards too, especially these old beat 'em ups for me. Bring back it's a lot of nostalgia, playing these old games at the arcade with your buddies. Demo intro for it is pretty cool. You got a Hulk Hogan, Mr. T as well. And yeah, this guy's girlfriend right there, you're trying to save her, kind of like the objective in the game. The dead-end gang kidnaps Kate. But yeah, pretty excited to own Vendetta. And this next game here doesn't really need much of an introduction. It's Double Dragon 2: The Revenge. Classic beat 'em up by Technos. Love the intro music to it. And I've got this one running on the Pana Twin Long Super Gun, which is usually my kind of like my dedicated super gun for my Thomas Wave stuff. Yeah, I just wanted to have as many of these boards kind of running simultaneously in this pickup, so you could kind of check out the demos for all of them. But yeah, it's running through S-Video on the LCD and composite on the CRT. The S-Video for this CRT is in the back, so I've just always got my 1-slot CMVS unit plugged into that. But I thought it would be kind of cool to have dueling Double Dragon 2 screens. Actually, yeah, my first experience with Double Dragon was the first one back in the late 80s at a, on an arcade cabinet at this old pizza place called Jerry's Pizza in suburban DC, where I was born and lived till I was about 7. Actually lived in 4 different states here in the US and 2 different countries, so can't really seem to stay put. Try and give you a look at the PCB without casting too many shadows on it. Yeah, this is a fantastic game. Love the first one, love the second one. Never got to play the third one. I hear that it's from what I've seen of it, it doesn't look a whole lot like these, and I think a lot of people were kind of upset by that. I might want to pick it up at some point. I don't know. I don't have like super high expectations for it or anything, but we'll see. But yeah, this one's awesome. And here's one that I'm just super thrilled to finally have tracked down. Yeah, another beat 'em up by Konami. Look at the PCB. And this one is Asterix. You know, if you're familiar with, you know, I'm sure most people are, some of the best games ever, like the old arcade boards that Konami made based on a lot of American cartoons like X-Men, The Simpsons, Ninja Turtles, Wild West Cowboys of New Mesa. All those are just awesome games. And yeah, this one is actually based on a French comic book that was made into, you know, many different animated movies. I don't know if I have any subscribers from France, but if I do, obviously they'd be quite familiar with the Asterix series. And like I said, this is really one of the more difficult Konami boards to track down. It's pretty rare. You don't really see it too often. I mean, this was the first time I had ever seen it, in fact, and so I almost didn't believe it at first. Had to do kind of a double take. And figured I'd you know, jump on it right away, because yeah, I'm not really sure when the next time I'm gonna, you know, see it for sale would be. So, just a little explanation of the controls. Asterix and Obelix, a funny character. Yeah, fell into like a cauldron, a druid potion when he was a young child, and it gave him his super size and strength. Yeah, if you're not really all that familiar with the Asterix stuff, you know, the basic story is these are two Gaulish warriors. You know, Gaul was an area in Europe that encompasses present-day France, a little bit of Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, and Luxembourg. And, you know, the Roman Empire eventually conquered that area. And, yeah, the story in Asterix is you're sort of leading a resistance movement with these two Gaulish warriors to try to protect sort of like the last stronghold in Gaul that hasn't fallen to Roman conquest yet. So throughout the game you're battling a lot of Roman enemies. And I think my subscribers in the British Isles and Ireland and the United Kingdom might be pretty familiar with Asterix as well. I think it was a bit more popular over there, as well as in places like Italy and some other places in Europe. It's kind of a funny series, sort of like a satirical look at all the different places in Europe that these two characters, you know, visit. Places in antiquity, of course. But being that this game is, like I said, it's very rare, I figured I'd give you a little bit of a more lengthy look at the demo in case some people weren't really familiar with it or hadn't seen much of it. And just like those Konami boards that I mentioned based on the American cartoons, you know, all of those just had super bright, vivid, colorful graphics, great sound, awesome character animation for the sprites. And this one's really no different. It's just as awesome in all those aspects. Really love the demo on it too. You can see it's a 1992 game. It's a lot of fun to play, pretty comical too. Like a bunch of the Konami games based on kind of animated series. Yeah, if you love those other games I mentioned, and this one looks kind of somewhat interesting to you as well, when you do, or if you do see it for sale, you should pretty quickly jump on it because as I previously mentioned, it might be quite some time before you see it again for sale. Look at Vendetta again. Oh yeah, and another one that's almost as rare as this one, another Konami game, is the Bucky O'Hare beat 'em up / run and gun, kind of a mixture in between the two genres. And that one's tough to find too. I haven't seen one of those for sale yet, so I'm really pretty keen on trying to track that one down as well. It's a cool little chariot race kind of mini game bonus stage. Yeah, the various kind of Konami boards that I have that are based on these kind of animated series are, let's see, I've got the Turtles board, I've got Wild West Cowboys of Moon Mesa, and I've got the Simpsons, and now I've got Asterix. I've also got the Sunset Riders board, which was had kind of a similar look and feel, although it was not based on any cartoon or anything. They were unique characters that Konami created, but that's an awesome game. And I don't have the classic the X-Men arcade board either. I do have that one on the Xbox LA. But yeah, it'd be pretty sweet to own a board for it too. More Double Dragon 2. They only kind of show you a couple of areas in the demo for this one, but it's still pretty cool. Love the music for it. And this one, of course, is running on the Vega Junior. This was my my first JAMA Supergun. You know, I love all of these things, each one of them. But I don't know, something about this one, it still might be my favorite. I love the feel of it. Love the design on it too. And the harness on this one, I do have does have a CPS2 kick harness. I don't have any fighting boards or boards that use 6 buttons, but if I were to ever acquire one, I would have that taken care of with this gun. Yeah, anyway, there's actually one more rare board that I got in that I wanted to show you, so I'm just gonna kind of set this camera down for a moment while I change out this board. I'll give you kind of a look at that demo there. Alright, sorry about that. Just had to change this out really quickly. Give you a look at this one. As you can see, it's a Phoenix CPS2 board. Pretty awesome, so you don't have to worry about that dreaded suicide battery. It's It's running in the USA region right now, but this is actually, as you can see, it's a gray B-board. So those are the Asia region CPS2 boards. And this one is Armored Warriors, known in the West as, I believe it was Powered Gear. But yeah, this one, much like Asterix, this is not one that you see every day for sale, for sure. Especially one that's already been phoenixed. And if you're familiar with Cyberbots, which was another CPS2 game, it was actually ported to the Saturn. It's a fighting game, and the characters that you choose in that are they're based off these characters. It's kind of like the same universe. So yeah, this game came first, and they took some of the characters from this one and made a fighting game with them, and that is Cyberbots. Attributes of the various characters. Love that one, the bloody robot. I can't remember, I think like in Marvel vs. Capcom and also in Cyberbots, like Jen, I don't know, one of his moves, I don't know, it's somewhat related to that mech. And he's actually a playable character in Cyberbots, Jin. At least I believe he was. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, this is an awesome beat-em-up game. Again, one that when I saw it for sale, I was like, what? You know, I almost didn't believe it at first. It's just kind of that rare. You know, the guy who runs the arcade shop that I bought this from was saying that this is, in like 15 years of being in business, he's only come across this board one time, and this is the board. So yeah, I don't know if it's too boring. Four different beat-em-up arcade games, all kind of the same genre. But I thought I'd show you a little bit of the demos, especially from Asterix and Powered Gear or Armored Warriors, just because they're not so common. But yeah, how awesome does that look? The high scores. Kind of the unfortunate thing with most arcade boards and these CPS2 ones as well is that when you power down your system, the scores are immediately deleted. You know, the cool thing about the MVS motherboards was that they saved up to 8 slots for scores. Love the Q sound jingle for these CPS2 games. Yeah, those MVS motherboards save up to 8 scores at a time. And even arcade motherboards like the IGS PGM and the Atomic Wave, they'll save up to 1 score at a time. If you power down your system, power it back on, those scores will save. They will delete when you change out your game cartridge. So the MVS has that above all other things, and the fact that you could change up, you know, out to 8 of them, and it would save 8. And you know, eventually when you're playing, like, you know, I've got like, I don't know, like 40 different MVS cards, so some of the scores will delete when you play a bunch of different games, but it's still a cool feature, kind of ahead of its time. Not many other motherboards did that, or not many other types of hardware did that either. I'm just gonna set this down again for a second. Figured since this one is kind of, since it's Phoenix, that I'd you know, show you some of the things you can do with that. Let me just actually here. went into the test menu. That's not how you do it. But here, what you do is you just want to power it down and turn it back on. Go into the hit the test button when you see that Phoenix Edition logo. Just go into like the region setup, and it will tell you that it will, you know, it's not advised. I don't know, I've never experienced any glitches when playing a Phoenix game in different regions. Put it in Brazil, get it in Portuguese. Kind of one of the cool things you can do with these Phoenix boards. Just play them in the various regions they were released in. Like if we go into our test menu here, you know, with a lot of these, I've got a couple other Phoenix games, and when you change the region, you still kind of have to, like if you want it to be in a different language, you still have to go oftentimes into like the system config, and you can change it there. So you know, let's put it in German. And it will come up and say it's in Brazil, the Brazil region, but it should play in the German language actually. There we go. A lot of things, I really do like a lot of the features with the CPS2 boards. You know, like on the actual board itself, it has the test menu switch and volume up and down as well. Yeah, having the Phoenix ability to kind of like change it around to whatever region you want to, and it also gives you that kind of that jukebox player, kind of like Unibios does on a NVS motherboard. You know, with many of the CPS2 games, regardless of what region you're playing them in, the games are pretty much similar. I do know that, I can't remember which one it is. One of the, geez, what was it? One of the Street Fighter games that was released for the CPS2, I believe there were some differences between the, like the US and European version when compared to the Japanese one. Like maybe it was, the Japanese one was like a little bit more smooth running, and there was a certain combo, like a move with Zangief that you could do in that one that you couldn't do in the Hispanic, North American, and European region settings. So yeah, I'm not really sure if there's anything like that for like Armored Warriors or the other Phoenix game I have, which is Alien vs. Predator. It's funny when I'm, you know, just running this thing a minute ago in Portuguese. You know, I speak a decent amount of Spanish, so when I hear spoken Portuguese, I can't really, it kind of goes over my head, but when I see it in written form, I can actually understand, you know, quite a bit of it. Many lexical similarities, obviously, between Spanish and Portuguese. Yeah, sorry hope I didn't bore anyone with this. I'm just looking at the time. I'm kind of running low. The battery's about to go. I think this video might have gone a little too long, so hopefully I didn't bore anyone too much. But with Asterix and Armored Warriors, I figured that you might want to see a little bit more of the demos, just because they're kind of uncommon boards to locate. But anyway. Got some NVS and PGM stuff, which should be here on Monday, like I mentioned. But yeah, I really do appreciate you watching, and yeah, congratulations to you if I didn't put you to sleep by now in this video. But yeah, thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you soon.